Hunter, one of the CPC co-chairs, and welcome everyone to today's CPC meeting. It's July 5th, 2023. The Seattle Community Police Commission acknowledges that we are on the traditional land of the Coast Salish people, including the Muckleshoot, Suquamish, and Duwamish people, past and present. With humility, we recognize how much we benefit from living on their land and water. Seattle Community Police Commission honors and esteems these tribes. We hope that this acknowledgement will encourage authentic relationships with urban Native people and all Coast Salish tribes. I will now take attendance. Commissioner Lars Erickson.
Here.
Morning.
Good morning.
And Commissioner Patricia Hunter is here. Commissioner Adrienne Levitt. Commissioner Suzette Dickerson.
Good morning. This is Adrienne.
Oh, thank you, Adrienne. Good morning.
Good morning.
Commissioner Dickerson. Commissioner Len Wilson. Commissioner Raven Nicole Tyler. Good morning. Commissioner Mary Ruffin.
Morning, present.
Morning. Commissioner Reverend Harriet Walden. Here. Good morning. Commissioner Joel Merkel.
Good morning. Here.
Good morning. Commissioner Lajaya Washington. Commissioner Washington, are you with us? Okay. Commissioner Joseph Saya. Commissioner Officer Mark Mullins.
Officer Mark Mullins is here.
Good morning.
Morning.
And Commissioner Lieutenant Tony Gadke. Good morning. Commissioner Jeremy Wood. Commissioner Tasha Johnson.
Good morning. I'm here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes. Can you all hear me?
We can now. Good morning. And Commissioner Erica Newman. Okay. Thank you all for being present. The draft agenda was sent by email, and I would entertain a motion to receive the agenda.
I move to motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second the motion. This is Tasha.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the agenda as received. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Say no.
Lynn Wilson's here.
And any abstentions? Okay, the motion is carried that we have an agenda. And I see that Commissioner Lynn Wilson is now with us. Yes, there she is. Good morning, Commissioner Wilson. Okay. We also received minutes of our last meeting. I would entertain, are there any corrections to the minutes?
I would like, and this is Tasha Johnson, to make a correction to, I know it sounds personal, but that I was late. I wasn't late to the last meeting.
Okay.
Everything else was good to me though, so we can move to approve with that correction.
Okay, that's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded that we receive the minutes as corrected. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay, please. Abstentions? And the motion is carried. At this time, we will move into some presentation from our community engagement team.
Good morning. So from community engagement, I'm not gonna go into all the deep details, but would like to let everyone know, and please mark your calendars for August the 31st. We will be presenting the annual report in a community meeting. We will, August the 31st at about 6 p.m. at Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute on 17th and Yesler. That's where it will be held. And we're planning to have just a whole community celebration with different authentic foods from different ethnic groups. And we're going to honor John T. Williams for the 10th anniversary of the consent decree, and also other presentations. We will have native drummers, and this invitation is going to go out to citywide to the city council, the mayor's office, and others. So we are strongly encouraging commissioners to please mark your calendars and plan to be there. And also, by the end of this week, early next week, I have a list of opportunities for everyone to step in and help to make this a great presentation, a great welcoming of the CPC to the community, and getting us out there and showing the community what CPC is all about and what we've been doing in through this annual report. Also, we're inviting our accountability partners to be there as well, so that they can also chime in. So anybody you think, we're going to be sending out invitations, and we want to make it a very good, festive, opportunity to engage with the community, and we need your help. So please sign up to help in different capacities, but more importantly, please mark your calendars to be there. And I would like to acknowledge, yes.
What time is it at?
It will be from 6 to 8, August 31st at Langston Hughes. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And I would also like to take this time to acknowledge Mergitu. There she is. We want to acknowledge our community engagement specialist, Mergitu. She received a big honor and award from the Southeast Peace Coalition a couple of weeks ago, and she wasn't here at the time to acknowledge that. So we do want to make sure that she is recognized for this great award that she received. It was the We Are Rising Award. So thank you, Mergitu, for all the work that you do and all the work you've done in the community. That's it for me.
Great, thank you so much. I know that community engagement team updates all of their activities and events on our website. So we are grateful for the work that your team does. Thank you. Now we will move into the Community Police Commission updates. Commissioner Joel will have our co-chair update.
Yes, good morning. Not a lot to update today, just to mention that, as I previously mentioned about our work to make changes to the ordinance and update the ordinance. We had one hearing in City Council last month, and that was to really introduce the proposed changes to the ordinance. I mentioned that Interim Executive Director Holly Ellis and I testified. Well, the next hearing is next Tuesday, July 11th, where Holly and I will be available to testify. We'll be testifying, and this is when with the introduced legislation, which is pretty, my understanding is pretty similar to the proposed legislation that was introduced prior to last hearing. So that'll be on the Seattle channel. You can come in person. It's going to be 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, July 11th, where the City Council will consider the actual introduced legislation to change some of the portions of the ordinance. I also understand that day there will be testimony regarding the mid-year report, and that's another thing that we're obligated to do under the ordinance, and we do that together with our accountability partners, and Interim Director Holly Ellis will be taking the lead on presenting that. So that's going to be another significant thing next Tuesday. So other than that, I don't have much more to report at this time. Oh, yes, thank you. One more thing, just as a reminder, and this is more for staff and our accountability partners. As we all recall, at the last meeting 2 weeks ago, we voted to approve part of the ED hiring process, or to ensure that the ED hiring process includes not only the opportunity for our accountability partners, City Council, to meet, interview, and provide input on the candidates, the finalists for ED, but also our staff. So there will be an opportunity for our staff to meet and talk with and provide input on the finalists for executive director. We've not yet set a schedule for that, but there will be. We will be figuring that out, and we'll be communicating that with our staff and accountability partners. But this is just to make clear that, you know, once we've had the opportunity to identify those finalists, vote on who they are, our accountability partners and staff will have an opportunity to provide input to the process. I believe the intention is today we're going to be in executive session to discuss the 6 candidates we identified at the last meeting, and the hope is that we can today vote on the candidates we want to go to the final stage of interviewing, which would happen in 2 weeks from today on July 19. And then on August 2nd, we would have another executive session and have a discussion, and then on the finalists. And then on August 2nd, after that executive session, we take all of the input we've received so far and all of the discussion that we've had, and have a vote on who we recommend that the City Council confirm as the next ED. So that is the process from here on the ED search. And that's all I have for co-chair updates.
Thank you, Commissioner Merkel. Now an update from our interim executive director, Dr. Holly Ellis.
Thank you. I wanted to acknowledge that Commissioner Dickerson is now here.
Okay, thank you.
And actually, Joel, you said basically what I was going to say. The mid-year accountability report is a report between OPA, OIG, and CPC, and this is a requirement of the ordinance. And our accountability partners and I have been collaborating to create a presentation that sort of shows what we're all doing together, how we collaborate together, the strengths that we have of each department and each agency. So that's going to be a very important thing, and next Tuesday is actually going to be quite important for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Now some of our work group updates. Is there an update from our complaint and appeals work group? Commissioner Wood? Or Commissioner Ruffin, I believe, is part of that work group as well.
Commissioner Wood isn't here, and we don't have a ton of updates. We didn't have a meeting last week, but we did want to share that we've learned that the parameters for the CBA have already been set. So previously we had discussed different strategies, including writing a letter to City Council, and based on the parameters being set, we're going to pivot, and we're exploring some other options in terms of policy recommendations. And we also wanted to let everybody know that the federal monitoring team will be joining our work group meetings moving forward for technical assistance. And if anybody is interested in helping with this work, we're open to it.
Okay, thank you. Is there an update from police practices? Commissioner Washington?
Oh, I'll open it up to someone else from our work group to give the update today.
I'm not gonna lie, all the days are blurring together, but from our last meeting, We are still kind of going through the new non-lethal devices. We're looking at writing a letter, and then we had a couple of police officers join us, kind of walk us through. We had a really productive conversation. We asked them a ton of questions. They were super gracious, answered all of it, and I think the consensus towards the end was that we still have some questions, and so we're going to get together and write a letter and try to get some more information.
Thank you. An update from our behavioral health work group, Commissioner Wilson.
So we had a meeting on June 26th. I was not in attendance, but I did read all the materials, the handouts that were passed out. So the presentation was from Rebecca Boatwright, who is the head of the legal department at the Seattle Police Department, and she talked about officer wellness programs and something called enterprise risk management, which I found a little hard to understand. But it was really, really interesting, and it's really clear that the police department is doing everything they can to really help support the PTSD situations that happen with some of the officers. And then next on the agenda is presentations from various community organizations that work with people who will have mental health and substance abuse issues in the community. And it's quite a long list, so it's going to take a while for us to hear from those organizations about how the police department's crisis intervention model is working. So that's all I have to report. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions at all for any of our work groups? Okay.
Looks like to acknowledge the progress and moving forward on the work groups. I think that's really fantastic to get them started again. So I think I just wanted to acknowledge that movement. Thanks.
Thank you, Reverend Walden. Any new business? I don't believe there is. I haven't heard that there is any new business, so we'll just keep moving. We'll move into our department updates. Is there a report or update from City Council? I believe I saw Newell.
As Co-Chair Merkel and Interim Director Ellis mentioned, the changes to the accountability legislation recommended by the CPC will be up in the Public Safety and Human Services Committee next Tuesday, the 11th. And that legislation it has a number now. It is Council Bill 120608. If the council, the committee votes to approve that, it could come up as soon as July 18th for a final vote. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there an update from the mayor's office? Okay, moving on our agenda, update from the monitor team, Mr. Ward?
Good morning, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning, commissioners. The only news to report is that the monitoring team continues to work on the accountability sustainability assessment report. It is an exhaustive amount of work and will be going on for quite a bit of time. Other than that, I have nothing else to report with regard to our activities.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. An update from the Department of Justice. Hearing none. They're a little ahead of time, so maybe they haven't logged on yet. Is there an update from the Office of Police Accountability? How about an update from the Office of the Inspector General? Well, last on our list is an update from the Seattle Police Department. Next on our agenda is an executive session. And the commission will now be going into executive session to evaluate the qualifications of applicants for public employment pursuant to RCW 42.30.1101G. And it's expected that the commission will be in executive session until approximately 11 a.m. And at that time, we will return to the public meeting. And so now I would ask our administrators to get us into executive session.
Session, I will reach out to Holly to unshare her screen. Conference room, you guys are on mute, but we're good to go after you unmute. It probably put you on mute after we came out of executive session.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So thank you, everyone. Welcome back into open session. At this time, I will entertain a motion to advance one of the 6 candidates to the next stage to interview on July 19. There are 6 candidates that we agreed to move forward from the last meeting, and we certainly can move forward more than one candidate to interview on the 19th. But if we do that, we're going to consider them one at a time and take a roll call vote on each one. So at this time, is there a motion to advance a candidate, one of the 6 candidates, to the next stage?
I move to put forward candidate Ellis.
Second.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do a roll call vote. I'll start with folks who are online. This is to move the candidate, Dr. Collie Ellis, to the next stage of the process. And I'm just going based on the order of folks I see on the screen. I'll start with Commissioner Gadke.
Yes.
Is that a yes? Gadke?
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn Wilson. Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Levitt. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Commissioner Levitt.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Mullins. Commissioner Ruffin.
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes. Did you get it?
Yep, thank you.
Perfect.
Commissioner Dickerson.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson. Is that a yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Washington.
Yes.
And now I'm going to go to commissioners in the room. Commissioner Erickson.
Yes.
Commissioner Walden.
Yes.
Commissioner Hunter.
Yes.
And Commissioner Merkel, I am voting yes. So the motion passes. Collie Ellis moves on to the next stage, which will be an interview on July 19th. At this time, I will entertain a motion for another candidate, if there is one, to move to the next stage of the process.
I move Glass.
Second.
There's a motion and a second for Aramik Glass. All right, I will go through the same order. Commissioner Gadke.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes.
Commissioner Tyler. Commissioner Levitt.
Yes.
Commissioner Levitt.
Yes.
Commissioner Mullins. Commissioner Ruffin.
Yes.
Commissioner Dickerson. Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Washington.
Yes.
Commissioner Erickson.
Yes.
Commissioner Walden.
Yes.
Commissioner Hunter.
Yes.
And Commissioner Merkel, me, I vote yes. Okay, we have voted to advance 2 candidates to the next stage. Is there a motion to advance a 3rd candidate to the next stage?
We move Ms. Hanks as a candidate.
Is there a second? Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't catch who did that, but.
Gadke?
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. All right. We'll go through the roll call vote on advancing Ashley Gordon Hanks. Commissioner Gadke.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Levitt.
Yes.
Commissioner Mullins.
No.
Commissioner Ruffin.
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Washington.
No.
Commissioner Erickson.
Yes.
Commissioner Walden.
No.
Commissioner Hunter.
Yes.
Commissioner Merkel, that's me. I vote yes. So we have voted to advance Ms. Hanks. The vote is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-3. We've voted to advance 3 candidates to the interview on July 19th. Is there a motion to advance a 4th candidate? Okay, hearing none, there's another motion I'm going to entertain, and that is to add a writing component to the interview process on July 19, where we would submit 2 questions for candidates to answer in writing that we could review and assess prior to the July 19 meeting, prior to the interview, and those written questions would become part of the public record. Is there a motion to add a writing component to the application and interview process for the finalists that are to be interviewed at the next stage?
So moved.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. We don't even need a roll call. We don't need a roll call vote for this one, but all those in favor of adding the writing component, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, please say nay. And the motion passes. There will be a writing component composing of 2 questions. It will become part of the public record. Okay. Unless there's any other motion at this time, which I'm happy to entertain, the meeting will be adjourned. And
I just have a quick question.
Go ahead.
When will we receive their responses to the questions? Is it going to be the day of, or will we get it a little bit beforehand?
Pam?
What I'll try to do is get that to you well, I'd like to give the candidates a week that includes, so they have a weekend to do it. As soon as I have them, I will release them. I will try to get them to you no later than the 17th.
Thank you.
Third candidate?
The three candidates that the commission has voted on moving forward to the next stage is Holly Ellis, Jeremy Glass, and Ashley Gordon Hanks.
Okay. So you just chose those three names first out of everyone we talked about?
Do you have a motion to advance another candidate?
Oh, was just a question.
Okay.
Yes.
Those were the go ahead.
Sorry, if we would like to motion to add another candidate, do we need to do that in order to take advantage of the writing component we just voted on?
Yes. The writing component would be for the candidates we are planning to interview on the 19th. If you would like to make a motion that all candidates do that, I suppose that's possible. But as we've discussed, the timeline is on the 19th, we're going to do the interviews. And then on August 2nd, we'll have a commission discussion. I see Mr. Ward, you have your hand up? You're on mute, Mr. Ward.
Could you please spell the name of the candidate Jeremy Glass?
Yes, the spelling that I have is AiramIQue, and last name Glass, Glass.
Okay, AEIRM.
RAM IQUE.
Thank you.
Yep. If there is a motion to add a fourth candidate to interview, now is the time to do it before we adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion to add Janelle Harris.
Okay. There's been a motion to add, is it Janelle or Janelle Harris?
I second that.
There's a second. GINALE, Harris. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do a roll call. Anthony Gadke. Commissioner Wilson.
No.
Commissioner Tyler.
Yes.
Commissioner Levitt.
Yes.
Commissioner Mullins. Commissioner Ruffin.
Yes.
Commissioner Dickerson. Commissioner Johnson.
No.
Commissioner Washington. Commissioner Erickson.
No.
Commissioner Walden. Commissioner Hunter.
No.
And Commissioner Merkel, I'm a no. So the motion fails. There were 4 in favor and 9 opposed. Ms. Harris is not added to the next round. Are there any other motions before we adjourn for the day? Mr. Ward, I see your hand up. Is that just because you haven't put it down? You're on mute. Okay, his hand is down. Well, seeing no other motions, thank you everyone for being here today, showing up prepared, and we look forward to seeing you on the next meeting, July 19. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you very much. Oh, Commissioner Washington, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you could answer that question of how you chose the first three names.
There were motions from the floor. They were seconded.
Okay.
And we voted on them.
Thank you.
If there are any other motions, we need to consider them before we adjourn. Okay, seeing none, thank you again, everyone, and we'll see you on July 19th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, thanks.
AS